mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
Able to score and 14 points, and they've not played this well offensively in several weeks.
6th passing touchdown of the season for the quarterback Hudson Gum. Kickoff fielded by Hampton again. They want to keep it away from Anderson. This time they bottle up Zay at the 33-yard line, and that's where Franklin Simpson will start the drive. Coming off the 24-yard touchdown pass from Delk to Anderson, Glasgow responds with a 28-yard strike through the air. Didn't know we'd get this many fireworks in the passing game in this ball game from both sides.
Yeah, but the thing is, I mean, that was a very quick drive. 4 plays, and Glasgow was able to score, and I think they probably scored a little too quickly because Franklin Simpson's going to have the ability to score here with 3:08 left to go before halftime.
All their timeouts in a tie ball game. As we mentioned earlier, Franklin Simpson will also get the ball to start the second half. So we'll see if the offense can piece together a drive here. They've had to convert 4th downs along the way to extend drives. It hasn't been pretty, but they have executed when they've had to. They send Anderson into motion. Give it to him on the right side. Get some blocks from his receivers. Cuts across the 40 and out of bounds short of the 45-yard line before colliding with his own man on the bench. Might have also hit a camera over there. Fortunately, pops up pretty quick. Needed to get to the 44 for a first down. They've got it marked right there, and the chains will move with a 10-yard pickup.
Yeah, I know. This is a good play on the outside, but it looked like some of the wide receivers didn't know what was happening, and they weren't getting up on their blocks. These guys got to be aware of what's happening.
Yeah, they were out there to block.
Yeah.
I thought it was set up to perfection, and then I think some of them were a little confused as to what to do at that point. It was set up perfectly, but still a 10-yard gain. Delk gives it off Alford. Left side, cuts to his right, across midfield, runs over a man, has the first down inside the 40. My goodness, laid a man out, and they can't bring him down until he's at the Glasgow 37-yard line.
And then Franklin Simpson, I mean, we talk about 3 minutes left on the clock before halftime, a little bit nervous about, if you're going to have time to score. Last drive, Franklin Simpson had 13 plays, not able to do that on this drive, but now they're only 37 yards away from a touchdown, and it looks like all 3 timeouts, so they can take their time and milk this.
Biggest run of the game for the Wildcats goes for 19 yards. 1st and 10 at the 37, 2.5 minutes left before halftime. They fake it up the middle, give it to Lane this time running outside. Across the 30, flag comes in from behind. He was inside the 25, would have had a first down, but this one's going to come back.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Jackson Crafton on a hold, and he's saying me. And, when you get your hands out there, when a defensive player is fighting off and you're extending your arms as an offensive lineman, they're going to call a hold most of the time. So.
And that was just a wonderful play design. We've seen Lane line up on that left end or that right end, but that time to bring him into motion and use him like Colin on the fake up the middle instead of using him as a blocker.
Yeah,
that's one to keep in your back pocket. Maybe pull that out again in the second half.
He's quick enough, but he's not somebody that people want to see in the open field.
They've got him flanked off on the right this time. Aiden Jones, the fullback. They fake it to him, go to Anderson. Bursts out of a cannon down the right side, trying to get left. Jukes inside the 30, inside the 25. They get it all back and then some with another first down. Colin Anderson.
In Glasgow, they were subbing somebody in right when Franklin Simpson was on the line, and the defensive player never stopped running and came right upfield and just was able to be blocked, and Colin ran right by him. Glasgow was not ready for that play.
Picked up 22. That is, and we've gotten used to seeing this with Colin. When he gets that ball.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go, Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
creative. And on the years in the past, you got 6 or 7 backs that you can run. Franklin's getting very creative in how they're getting these guys the football.
Delk in the gun as we get back underway. One wide receiver on the right side is Groves. He's looking that way, fakes once, now throws up a jump ball into the end zone, overthrew him. Kaysen had beat his man at the last moment. It was Jeremiah Moore back there in coverage for Glasgow, was able to slip away, but Brady a little bit too much juice on that one, and it falls incomplete out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and he had pressure up in his face as well, and he's shown some toughness getting up, and some linemen are having to help him up, and he had the guy wide open, but it's just hard to throw under pressure.
3 for 8 through the air, 37 yards, and the touchdown to Anderson. Perry, Groves, and Anderson all have catches. Those are the 3 receivers in triple digits for yardage this year. It helps Glasgow there by stopping the clock. 1:41 left before halftime. Cats go back to the ground game. Anderson outside, has a hole, cuts upfield inside the 20, 15 inside the 10, and he's tackled at the 7-yard line. He picks up 15. Colin Anderson just stacking up big plays on this drive.
And he's just about 1 step away from scoring, and now with the Wildcats with 2 timeouts, 1:20 left to go. Looks like they're putting in their heavy set and just going to punch it in and run out as much of this clock as they can and call timeouts. You got 4 plays and plenty of time on the clock.
Jones offered Anderson in the backfield. They give it up the middle. Aiden gets inside the 5-yard line to the 3, picks up 4, and exactly what you talked about. You want to make sure you score here, but as the clock ticks inside a minute, you want to narrow that down as much as you can so that explosive Glasgow offense doesn't get too much of an opportunity.
Yeah, so after this play, you'll have about 20 seconds left on the clock. You'll call a timeout. If you don't score, it'll be about 3rd and some yards. So at 20 seconds, you have another chance to run another play.
They fake it to Aiden. Lane gets it running left. Was he able to slip into the end zone? He does. Touchdown Wildcats.
Never
with
mind.
34 seconds left before half.
May go to that prevent defense, but the thing is, I believe Glasgow has all 3 of their timeouts, so they don't necessarily have to get a Hail Mary play right now. They can get something short over the middle, about 3 or 4 plays, and be in business for So you got to play everything right now
and need to execute on this kickoff.
Yes, absolutely. That's been a struggle so far.
Brody puts the hand up, sprints up. It's a squib. Down the near side, slipped through the legs of a Glasgow player. I don't know that he touched it. The officials are going to discuss whether or not it touched him. They say it didn't, and the flag comes in. Again for Franklin Simpson, kicking it out of bounds. You wouldn't get the flag there if the player had touched it. Glasgow would just take over wherever it went out. Coach Chaney is going to listen in on the conversation as well. It was close. It went up by the sideline. Right behind them is Bull on this left side. That's where the ball has been kicked on these squibs for the most part. We'll see if Franklin switches it up now, having to kick off from the 35 in a 21-14 ball game where you don't want to give this Glasgow offense anything more than you have to. Brody squibs it up the middle. Bull wanted to get it, couldn't get it as Jalen Bradley came up and took it from him, gets away from a defender up at midfield and dragged down at the 48-yard line. So they've got plus field position, 25 seconds to work with at the Franklin Simpson 48. So the call to make the Cats re-kick works out well there for Glasgow.
Yeah, they're in good field position. They gained about 15, maybe 20 yards by making them re-kick. So good call.
Gum is 2 for 5 through the air with the interception and the 28-yard touchdown to Stone. 2 wide receivers on the right side, and they didn't have enough players on the field. They bring another to be on the left now. 2 split out on each side. Bull is in the backfield to the left of his quarterback. Gum takes the shotgun snap. Quick out, all alone on that right side of the field as Martin collects it with ease. Didn't have enough for the first down, was just a quick gainer to the 42-yard line. They gained 6, and the clock now at 21 seconds left before halftime.
Yeah, Franklin Simpson's in their prevent defense.
I think you're okay with those 6-yard gains.
They
haven't attempted a field goal this year. We don't know fully on our side what the kicker, Malagon, is capable of. Same formation, 2 wide receivers each way. Ball now on the right hash. It's the low snap. Gum handles it, looks for that quick out again, and this time overthrows his target. And now 16 seconds left in the half. And it's quickly 3rd and 4.
Well, being in this prevent defense, and if they would have caught that, it would have been at about the 35. So in about 6 to 10 yards, I mean, you would have a chance to get about 20 yards on those if you completed them all. So Wildcats are still in that prevent defense, but scooting up just a little bit.
Num takes the snap, drops back, has some pressure this time as the Cats were able to get some bodies in the backfield, drops it off to Bull underneath, running down the right sideline, was hit and knocked out of bounds. They've got it at the 32, so picked up 10, but now just 7 seconds left, and Glasgow at the Franklin Simpson 32-yard line.
Yeah, now Glasgow has to think about getting a jump ball in the end zone, and from 32, most quarterbacks can throw that far, so you're a little bit nervous. You got to make sure you know where Martin is.
Yes.
You got to make sure you know where some of these other guys. I mean, Glasgow's got some athletes. I mean, Stone has shown that he can catch it, so Glasgow looks like they're going to call the timeout and set themselves up a play.
Martin, the obvious target out there at 6'5". Star basketball player, and they've got a lot of crossover guys from that basketball team that, while they may not be listed at the got him face guarded to try to jam him off the line. Gets away from it anyways. Gum is looking that way, floats it up into the end zone, jump ball. Martin fell down, but it was away from the play as Perry knocks it down, and the half comes to a close. Again, the Franklin Simpson defense survives. And after an exciting back and forth first half of play, it's Franklin Simpson who goes into the break in front 21-14 over Glasgow. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll get you all the numbers from this first half and see if our special halftime guest remembers on a busy homecoming night to make his way up to the press box. Again, your score at the break, 21-14, Franklin Simpson leading Glasgow here on 92.3 WFKN.
Telly. I'm the youth leader and worship leader at Franklin First United Methodist Church. It's homecoming here at Franklin Simpson. We are so glad that you are joining us tonight. I just want to take a moment to invite you to Franklin First United Methodist Church. On Sundays, we have worship at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And on Wednesday nights, we have church starting at 5:30 with dinner. And we have our smaller groups and Bible studies starting at 6 p.m. We also have our Fall Fest coming up October 27th. See you there. Go Cats!
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
Catches. That one only from 24 yards, but may have been the most spectacular of all the catches that he's made this season, serving as the top receiving option for Franklin Simpson offensively. Perry had his 13-yard catch. Casey Groves had a catch on a
Drum major Cam Hughes is the band ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up and
Franklin Simpson High School Marching Band, you may take the field.
welcome to the casino, where luck is the dealer and fate holds the cards. You enter a world where fortunes are won and lost in the blink of an eye. But remember, the house always has the edge. With each bet, the stakes grow higher. The cards don't fall.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting...
It's now or never. The chips are on the table. It's all about the luck of the draw. Are bright and the stakes are high. This is your moment. The cards are dealt. The chips are down. And then, jackpot.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Franklin Simpson High School marching band. This year's band has 7 seniors, 16 juniors, 11 sophomores, and 22 freshmen. There are 36 string players, 7 percussionists, 11 members of the color guard. Tonight's show will not be possible without the continued support of your school board members, Superintendent Mr. Tim Schlosser, FSHS Principal Mr. Michael Wicks, FSNS Principal Mr. Jackson Berber, Director of Athletics Mr. Matthew Wilhite, and the Franklin Simpson Band Boosters. The band is under the direction of Kyle Graves, who is assisted by Amber Lamassus. Instructional staff includes Danny Vinson, Isaac Perkins, and Aaron Talley.
Tally, I'm the youth leader and worship leader at Franklin First United Methodist Church. It's homecoming here at Franklin Simpson. We are so glad that you are joining us tonight. I just want to take a moment to invite you to Franklin First United Methodist Church. On Sundays, we have worship at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And on Wednesday nights, we have church starting at 5:30 with dinner. And we have our small groups and Bible studies starting at 6 p.m. We also have our Fall Fest coming up October 27th. See you there. Go Cats!
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
They don't, the legislature has no guidelines. They've not said this is what we're going to do. It just kind of gives them a blank checkbook, but our Constitution says public tax dollars can only be spent on common schools, which common schools are our public schools. And so it's kind of, and I have nothing against private schools. I think private schools are a great, they're good for education. They're a great fit for lots of different students. But as far as, it could really change the way public schools operate.
Yeah.
If this because there's only so much money in education. They give I have to look up the exact amount of money, but if they start pulling that money back into private schools, it could have an impact on our public schools. So I just want to encourage everyone to please, and if you have questions, do not hesitate to call me. I'll be more than happy to sit down and talk with anybody about what Amendment 2 is.
Well, and again, the big thing is, as much as we'd love for everybody to listen to everything that you say, I think you would advise the same thing. It's exactly what you said. Dive in, figure out what your stance is on it, and go in informed wherever you're going to go with it.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
That's what I've tried to really just educate yourself on the amendment and what it is and what it really is. And social media, like you said, I've never seen something in education blow up on social media like Amendment 2. So,
Coach, we were talking before we started. You said you'd be willing to come up here a few more times, and I would like to think that it won't be as hot. Then the next time you're up here, the bye week might help us out with that. Before I let you go and we get Tyler Arterburn back in here for the second half, what would you say from that game, from the first half that you've taken in? What's the biggest key, Franklin, starting with the ball in this second half? What's going to be the biggest key to continue the success we saw to end the half and cap off what would be a great homecoming win?
I think we've got to come out to start the second half. We don't need to go 3 and out.
Yeah.
We need to get the ball. Even if we don't score, flip that field position, keep it down on one end of the field, and manage the football game. Continue to establish the running game, and when the opportunity presents itself, you can take a shot for a big play on the passing game. But we take it down here and score, make it 28-14. That gives you a much bigger cushion for the second half.
Superintendent Tim Schlosser joining us. I told him no matter the position, I'm calling him Coach.
That's
Coach
fine.
Schlosser with us here on halftime. We'll see you again soon. Thank you for hopping up here.
Thank you.
We're going to hand it back over to Tyler Arterburn as we get set to get the second half underway. Final seconds ticking down. Franklin Simpson leading 21-14 over Glasgow. When you hear Coach Schlosser say that the key to start this second half is going to be to piece together a good drive, either score or flip that field position, I know you're not going to argue with that, Tyler, as Franklin seeing what Glasgow is capable of offensively, and you kind of take that final drive with a grain of salt because they only had 35 seconds to work with. The turnovers have really been your saving grace in this game. Otherwise, Glasgow has been flying up and down the field and putting themselves in scoring position.
Yeah, there's been no punts this game whatsoever. I mean, everything's been either a turnover or a touchdown. So, you got to – I think you need to score on this drive. I don't think there's really any other option if you want to take complete control. But at the same time, I mean, a score on this play I think is almost essential to winning this game.
Franklin will start with the kickoff. This is a Wildcats team that we've gotten used to now, settling Hampton back there alongside Anderson. They kick it to Zay, fields it running around the 20. Somebody grabs his leg, gets away from it, trying to flip the field to the left side, hesitates for a moment, now stuck backtracking, and he's wrapped up down around the 16-yard line. Looked like he might be able to flip that the other way, but hesitated and is wrapped up inside the 20.
That's a situation where you got to know where your strengths are as a player, and he should have just kept going. And you're not going to break it for a touchdown, but you got to know that not every play has to be broken for a touchdown. But you don't want to lose yards. You never want to lose yards. Yep. So that's a coachable moment there. Zay's having a good game, and you just got to be patient and not try to do too much. We've seen that in some guys earlier in this year, and they've kind of settled in. Zay, as he's going to get more involved, you got to just do your job.
They mark it officially at the 17-yard line. That's where Franklin Simpson will take over. They've got both the fullbacks in. Going to lane, left side, has a hole across the 20, 25. Push from behind at the 30, stays on his feet past the 35. How is he still up past the 40? Tackled short of the 45.
Showing, I mean, we talked about Lane Alford having power. He's also got a little bit of speed in there. Oh, my goodness. And I don't know if it's speed or just everybody runs away from him because they don't want to tackle him. I think it's a little bit of both, but My goodness, what a run. Just being creative and finding ways to get him the football, not just up the middle, is very important for the Wildcats, and they're doing it in this game better than I've seen them do it all year.
He's now got 8 carries for 83 yards. They fake it up the middle. Outside, Anderson tries to stiff arm a tackler, but he's wrapped up and dropped in the backfield. Glasgow bringing multiple bodies. It's Contreras off the edge that makes the play. 36 tackles on the season coming into this game, and that time drops Anderson for a 2-yard loss.
And it looked like he was coming from a linebacker, but I think he was lined up as a defensive tackle is what they show him on the roster. But
so they've got what they'll list as defensive tackles, but those are just the guys that are guaranteed to be up on the line, and it's what we talked about before the game. They've only got 3 guys listed as linemen, but as we see here on this play, they've got 5 guys on that line. As Alford tries to run left, runs into a wall, and might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. If so, that's it.
We've talked about Massey. He got injured in the first half, but he made an incredible play right there, squeezing. He's unblocked on the backside, and the play just didn't hit quick enough because he was able to chase it down from the backside. He's an incredible player for this Glasgow team.
Kievion Massey, number 60, 6'1", 241 pounds. Their most disruptive of those linemen with 4 sacks. That time generates a play for no gain, and it's 3rd and 12. Delk, play action, in the shotgun, chase down, flips it over the head of Jones. I don't know if he was looking for Aiden or actually trying to get it to Perry behind him on the comeback route. Neither were able to reel it in, and it falls incomplete.
In Glasgow, they've had we've seen on both sides some really well-timed blitzes. That one that caused the fumble at the Glasgow's first drive, and and then this one as well, just a well-timed blitz to force an incompletion because Brady had defenders right in his face.
Well, when Coach Slosher said, if you don't score, you need a good punt to flip the field. This is the first punt for either side tonight. It's a low snap. Brody fields it well off the bounce. Low kick. Will it take a Franklin bounce? It does, and now dies right at the Glasgow 30. It looked like it was going to keep careening forward, took a huge hop to start, and then actually checked up almost like a golf shot, one hot stop. Hit it about the 38. The second bounce was at the 30, and then it spun dead at the 30-yard line.
And that was about the perfect place to punt it because Franklin Simpson had 2 guys running down there, and number 1 for Glasgow, he didn't want to catch that football with 2 guys in his face, Bradley. And that was a good position. Now, Glasgow, this is kind of interesting. They're coming out in the eye. It looked like they were spreading it out a little bit.
They're back to that I formation. Let's see if they go to bull. Snap was fumbled, but holding on to it is Gumman. He's going to make a lot of positive yardage out of this across the 35-yard line up to around the 36. So it was a fumbled snap, just kept it up the middle. The line still got a surge, and he picked up 6 yards.
So Glasgow, I've seen a lot of the reasons they don't run outside on toss and too much and run anything fancy, they just run right up the middle, is because they have some size on this offensive line. McGowan, their center, is 344 pounds. He's a hoss, and he can move too. So as the defensive lineman, you got to make sure you're not getting driven back.
I formation on 2nd and 4, 3 minutes into this second half. This time they execute the bull. Gets outside, escapes the tackler past the 40. Across midfield, he fumbled it. Glasgow jumped on it first, but if they didn't grab it, the Cats have it. They think they do, and it's Franklin Simpson football.
Woo. Man, it looked like Glasgow had the opportunity to get on that football, but I don't know what defender was able to squeeze it out of there. Oh, my goodness. Was that Crafton? Not Crafton. That was Gass that got the fumble.
Jackson Gass was the one that recovered it. A third turnover forced by this Franklin Simpson defense was a big gain into Franklin Simpson territory, but the Cats get it back.
And that's one of those plays as a Franklin Simpson fan, you're going like, oh, no, that's not something you like to see. He's in the open field, and if he broke a tackle, but he was able to strip that football from him, and now Franklin Simpson's back in business on offense.
The Cats take over at their own 48-yard line. Second forced fumble. They've recovered them both to go along with the interception. Delk hands it off right side. Jones escaping arm tacklers across midfield down inside the 45-yard line.
A great run right up the middle and able to get, 9 yards as a fullback. And that, again, anytime you run up the middle and 9 yards as a fullback, it opens up so much more. And I'm interested to see what this drive is going to look like. Franklin Simpson, you can't just keep doing the same things that you're doing that weren't working. You got to try to mix it up as this drive goes along.
And Aiden has really been most effective on those first down runs.
Yes.
And here sets up a 2nd and 1. Will they try the deep shot? We've seen that on 2nd and short so far. Instead, they hand it off. Patient run this time from Aiden, spinning off a defender in the backfield across the 40, carries 2 more down to the 37-yard line.
And I think Glasgow would be expecting it, and you don't want to risk a turnover on 2nd 1, and you don't want to risk a holding penalty on a pass play. Just run it again. There's nothing that you have to do. You don't have to throw it deep. So just take what's guaranteed and almost guaranteed in a 1-yard run for a first down.
Picked up 6 when they needed 1. Ball at the Glasgow 37-yard line on the right hash. Delk fakes it up the middle, gives it to Anderson, cuts up field inside the 35, trying to get the corner, but he has to step out of bounds at the 30-yard line. But again, another great gain on first down, picks up 7 to the 30-yard line.
I think Collins looked really good this evening, and I think it's scheme-wise because these fullbacks are running so well that you have to key in on them so much that he just gets wide open, and anytime he's in space, he can make something happen. I love what the offense is doing tonight for Franklin Simpson. Not being too tricky, not being too fancy, just doing their job, being patient, and moving the ball.
7.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Ball at the 30-yard line. 2nd and 3. Alford goes up the middle. Might have snuck up for a yard. Glasgow was all over that one, and you can tell from the last 2 times Lane has touched the football, their second-half plan is just to key in on him. He started the half with that big 27-yard run, but since then a run for no gain, and that one gets about half a yard. It'll be 3rd and a long 2. Franklin needs to get to the 27-yard line. The ball positioned between the 29 and the 30. Inside 7 minutes left, third quarter, up 21-14. Delk settles in under center. Alford behind him. Anderson is flanked off to the right. They pitch it out. It's Cole Alford, cuts up field inside the 30, 25, and pushes down near the 20-yard line. He's got plenty for the first down. They mark it back at the 23, but got more than enough to move the chains. Picked up 6.
Yeah, just kept waiting for Cole Alford. He's been in there several times last week and been in there several times this week. And on 3rd and 2, coach calls his name, and he's able to convert. I know he's a good runner. He's not the fastest guy. He's not as big as his brother yet. Just a sophomore. Very different, contrasting back, but he does run hard. There's nothing that you can question about his motor. He runs the football hard, and he's going to give you everything he's got.
First down at the 23. Brady hands it off up the middle. Alford again. The wall set up there for Glasgow. Lane pushed forward for a yard. And like you mentioned with Cole, you need different people to be able to get involved. With no Blake McPherson down there, he's talking with Coach Wilhite on the sideline.
Yeah. You need guys like Xavier Hampton that aren't on your scouting report that, nobody's expecting them to get the football, and they're able to get 6-7 yards on a key play that you need some movement, and that's what we saw for Cole Alford. I wonder what the Wildcats are going to do next.
They've yet to pull out what's felt like the one mandatory Zay Hampton play a game.
Yeah.
Keeping that in their back pocket. Nelk fakes it up the middle, goes to Collins, shoots out of a cannon again, inside the 20, 15, cuts outside 10, and has to settle for the sideline. If that field were 5 yards wider, he was heading into the end zone, but instead he'll settle for a 12-yard gain to set up 1st and goal.
This is a beautiful run, and it's obvious that Glasgow is nervous about Lane Alford and wants to stop him on every play. So Colin is the beneficiary from that so far this evening on some wide open runs, and now it's 1st and goal.
He's got 10 carries for 72 yards. Jones, the fullback. Lane on the right side of the line. They give it to Aiden. Tries to cut up field, driving forward. He's going to be cut down short of the 5. Looks like they'll mark it at the 6-yard line. Was tough to tell where the official spot would be because he was pushing forward and looked like the knees might have come down behind him. They're going to give him the 7. So it's still a gain of 3, and that's the value that Aiden gives you. He is going to keep churning forward, and so far that's been the case today, as there's a player down for Glasgow. So a quick timeout, but when you look through Aiden's runs, none of them have gone for double-digit yardage, but he has gained at least 2 yards every single time that he has touched the football. So when you see 10 carries for
special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
That toughness that he's willing to do whatever he wants, whatever he can to win, and he's kind of one of those linemen that just gets to carry the football a little bit.
2nd and goal at the 7 after the injury timeout. Glasgow has 6 players up around the line. They fake it to Jones, end around Alford, but he's going to be dropped in the backfield. Lane was running left to right. That's the play we saw earlier that worked really well, but had the penalty on, where they tried to make him the man running around in that Collins spot, but Glasgow all over it. It loses a yard, and it's 3rd and goal at the 8.
So what Glasgow did is the backside strong safety, outside linebacker, whatever you want to call him, was just able to chase Lane down from the back, and you don't see that very often. So I'm interested to see what Franklin Simpson draws up here. Are they going to run a boot play? I could see them running a very similar play and just rolling Brady out on the left and seeing if somebody floods out to the flats and to a drag. So we'll see what the Wildcats draw up.
Brody Perry, the lone receiver on the right side, but with 4:13 left in the quarter, the Wildcats are going to take a timeout. This is a very pivotal play in this ball game. 3rd and goal, need 8 yards to get into the end zone in a 21-14 ball game. You
Special is that we look for
Deliver it to yours.
on the right side of the line. Play fake. Delk rolling right. Stops. Throws across the field. It hits the goalpost and falls incomplete. It hit the crossbar. Was going across the middle of the field to Brody Perry and just overthrew him, as now with the ball at the 8-yard line, positioned on the right hash, McAllister is going to come out for his second field goal attempt. He's 1 for 1 on the season. Made his lone try of the year. We were very shocked. In the opener against Davis County, they trotted him out there for 1. Can he give the Cats a 2-score lead with 4:07 left in the third quarter? Snap is a bad one. It's spotted at the 15. Delk was able to recover, put it down, but the kick is no good. It was a fantastic job by Brady just to field that and give Brody a chance, but it's a very rhythmic thing when it comes to anything in special teams, but especially a field goal. The operation there was just off from the jump.
It was, and it was borderline. Do you just pick that up and
Yeah.
hot, and when you yell hot, that means that it's a botched snap or a botched hold, and you just try to throw it in there and have the tight end slip out, or you try to run it in. It was borderline on that, but they were able to get the kick off. But nonetheless, it's missed. And here's another thing: a kick in high school football is like a punt. So Glasgow is able to start on their 20 because that is technically ruled a touchback.
So the Scotties are back in that I formation, trailing still by only a touchdown. 4:07 left in the quarter. Cats stack the box. They run play action, going deep into double coverage. A lot of contact. Flags come in. It's going to be another pass interference. It was just a jump ball to Martin. It was well defended. 2 Wildcats were there, but it broke down, contact, and then the penalty for pass interference comes in.
And Cason Groves is going to get the penalty for pass interference, but I think he was trying to get his head around, and Martin was just kind of ran into him and made it look like pass interference if I was looking at it from a Franklin Simpsons fan perspective. But nonetheless, they're usually going to call that on the defense.
3:58 now left in the quarter as Glasgow moves up to the 35-yard line. Second PI call we've seen against that Franklin Simpson secondary, both against Groves. I formation once more. We'll see if they go to Bull. Young takes the snap, fakes the handoff, slips it out into the flat, has the fullback open for a first down and then some across the 45. They mark it at the 48-yard line for a gain of 13.
And looks like Colin Anderson's down, and I think he's got a cramp, and you see some good sportsmanship from Bull on Glasgow's team helping Anderson out. Just seems like a good, solid kid to be able to do that for another team's player.
They pick up 13 through the air to Geary as Colin is still down at the 30-yard line. They're working on that leg. It is, as we've experienced up here in the press box, it's a hot night. It might be a bit more humid up here than it is down there on the field, but you certainly know it feels like over the course of the season, as hot as it's been, we have not had too many cramp issues for Franklin Simpson, but sooner rather than later, that's something that's going to pop up. And you know what I love to see, looking down on the sideline after the missed field goal, you could blame it on the snap, you could blame it on everything in the process of just trying to get that ball down for the kick. Brody down there kicking into the net, getting some more work in.
Yeah, and just he's a hard worker. I think he's competitive as well.
Yeah, he's upset about it.
I'm sure he definitely is. He wants that perfection streak, and he's upset that it ended, and he's going to try to get the next one to get his percentages back up.
After the 13-yard completion to Geary, it's a 1st and 10. Glasgow marching up to their own 48-yard line. They've now got 80 yards through the air tonight. False start called as they had sent Buell into motion right to left. Looked like they were setting up a little swing pass, but the right side of that Glasgow line jumped.
I don't know if they may have been trying to go on 2 or just trying to be creative in some way, but it backfired on them after a good start to the drive, and they go backwards.
They've got Martin in the slot on that right side. Again, they send Bull into motion. One of the same play. The snap is low. Gets away from Gum. Recovers it, though. Running down the right side. Throws it down the sideline to Martin. Was a broken play, and he catches it inside the Franklin Simpson 40-yard line. Motion Martin to go downfield. That's a spot where your quarterback and receiver just have a really good connection with each other. They move it down to the Franklin Simpson 36-yard line.
Yeah, and that was just Franklin Simpson was in zone coverage, and Martin was able to set up in what I would call no man's land, and just found the hole in the zone, and he was able to get it to him for a first down.
Third catch of the day is up to 48 yards for Jarek Martin. And he set up the Scotties with a first down. Low snap, it's fumbled again. Gum recovers it. He's running left this time, being chased down from behind, and he's dropped in the backfield. Big play for the Wildcats from Caden Bennett.
Great job by Caden Bennett. He plays lineman, and he also plays outside linebacker, so almost like a safety in some plays because he's fast enough. He plays at pulling guard, and oh my goodness, he's able to catch him and and make a play defensively.
I was impressed going back to that first game of the season against Davis County. One of the first things I noticed was his ability to get into the backfield and wreak havoc. There were times where he might not be able to record a stat, but there were so many, we've mentioned this during that game, pressures and forced fast throws. He was just causing mayhem back there, this time able to finish the play, and it's now 2nd and 14. I formation again, this time a clean snap. Bull running left side. He's dragged down at the 35-yard line, gets 5 back, but it's going to be 3rd and long.
And Franklin Simpson's defensive line is just kind of getting pushed back. You cannot get pushed back against this team, and you got to hold your ground one way or another. But nonetheless, it is 3rd and long. Glasgow has to become creative right here and try to figure out what to do.
They actually mark it back at the 36, so it's 3rd and 10 with a minute and a half left in this third quarter. Glasgow trailing by a touchdown. We're scoreless so far in the second half. Confusion right now. Now they get the wide receiver set up on the right side with trips. One wide receiver left. Bull still in the backfield. Gum takes the snap. Rolling to his right. Throws it across his body on a screen. It's caught, but Franklin Simpson was all over it. Lane Alford had that snuffed out. Made a big hit, and that picks up a single yard.
And now it's good pressure by Aiden Jones. I mean, you talk about the fullbacks on offense. He had good pressure, and that doesn't look good. The whoever's injured for Glasgow looks like they're in a lot of pain.
The receiver had grabbed it, and Lane made a hard tackle, dropped him right where he.
Telly, I'm the youth leader and worship leader at Franklin First United Methodist Church. It's homecoming here at Franklin Simpson. We are so glad that you are joining us tonight. I just want to take a moment to invite you to Franklin First United Methodist Church. On Sundays, we have worship at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And on Wednesday nights, we have church starting at 5:30 with dinner. And we have our small groups and Bible studies starting at 6 p.m. We also have our Fall Fest coming up October 27th. See you there. Go Cats!
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs,
On a 4th and 9, Glasgow is going to keep the offense on the field at the Franklin Simpson 35-yard line. They need the 26. Minute left, third quarter. Biggest play of the game so far. Snap is on the ground the whole way, but the quarterback Gum has it. Rolling to his right. Nobody's out there. He's going to look to throw it anyways, and it's dropped down the sideline. Clean coverage this time from Franklin Simpson. Hit the hands of Bradley. Couldn't hold on. Gum had nobody on that side of the field. Could have tucked it and easily ran for the 10 yards. Instead tries to heave it downfield. It falls incomplete, and the Cats take over at their own 35-yard line with another defensive stand.
And Glasgow, I mean, their center is just rolling that ball back there. Past several shotgun snaps, that messes. You think he recovers it? Okay, it's a claim, but it messes up your timing. It messes up your read. The quarterback is having to worry more about the snap than getting his eyes up and looking at the defensive backs, and so it just throws everything off. That's something that Glasgow will need to clean up if they want to be effective on offense.
Bradley was shaken up after the play, but he's back in there at corner as the Wildcats take over. 48 seconds left, third quarter. Delk fakes it up the middle, gives it to Anderson, running right, can't quite get the edge and has to cut his losses and go down at the line of scrimmage.
And just it looked like there was room again, and there's been so much room for Colin Anderson, but that window is closing more and more quickly because Glasgow's defense is paying attention to Colin Anderson, and rightfully so.
What we've talked about with that defense, especially with no Max Lee out there at linebacker tonight, they get a bit smaller, they get a bit faster, and that's the strength of that defense. All across the board, even up front, they really don't have too much size once you get away from big number 60 Massey. It's more of a speed-based defense, and after that play goes for nothing, the Cats are going to walk this thing into the fourth quarter. They hold up the fours. We go scoreless in the third. Can Franklin Simpson hold on to a touchdown lead here on homecoming and move to 2-1 in district play? We'll find out together after this.
Telly, I'm the
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last?
Fourth quarter underway here at Franklin Simpson High School. Wildcats have the ball on a 2nd and 10. Alford gets it, running left, escapes a tackler, stiff arms another man. He might be gone. 35-30, 25-20. One man to beat, trying to save him off. Can't quite do it. He's wrapped up inside the 10. But Lane Alford shed the tackles, turned on the Jets, and we have seen this the last couple of games. The first play to start a quarter, Lane comes out ready to go, and the Cats shift the field. They're at the Glasgow 7. There's a Scotty down in the backfield. My goodness, what a run, 58 yards.
I didn't know Lane could run that fast. I don't know if he knew he could run that fast. My goodness. But him and Colin are so different because Colin is looking for a hole. Lane doesn't care. He just goes.
He just makes the hole.
He makes the hole. Guy's just he's like Moses parting the Red Sea. Everybody's running away from him because he's got that cowboy collar that looks intimidating too. It's not just that it looks intimidating. He is an intimidating runner and a heck of a player. Oh, my goodness. What a run to start this fourth quarter. And needed because that was a very dull, I'll just say a very dull third quarter with no scoring. And you had turnovers and a penalty and all this and that. And my goodness. And turnover on downs. You didn't have any scoring on 4 possessions, and he just came out hot in this fourth quarter.
Touchdown lead. You can add to it here. Very important game. Do we have any updates from the Hart County Adair County game? At halftime, what was it, 27-15?
Yeah,
Hart leading that?
That's the last I saw. I think it was at the end of the half. That's the last score I saw. So they'll update us at the end of the third.
That's the battle for the top spot in the district. Franklin yet to see Hart County. As back underway, Joan gets it left side, started to slip through a hole, but got tripped up, but was able to drive down to the 2-yard line for a gain of 5. 2nd and goal there for a Wildcat offense trying to make this a 2-score lead.
Yeah, but not to take away focus from this game, but if Hart wins that game and then Franklin Simpson's able to beat Hart, we're looking at a 3-way tie, and then we're looking at RPI for the first place in the district. So, Franklin Simpson right now, you're cheering for Hart County. You won't in a couple weeks, but nonetheless, let's get back to this one.
2nd and goal at the 2. Minute into this fourth quarter. Delk under center. Hands it off. Jones driving up the middle. Does he get there? Looks like Glasgow has the stop at the 1.
And you're still cooking. You're still in business. I think they're going to spot that back at the 2 almost.
They say it's stacked up for no gain. The official had initially run in from the 1-yard line, but the other one comes in and moves it back to the 2, so no gain there.
So you got to get the football in the end zone right here. What's Franklin Simpson do? We've not seen any pass plays that I remember out of this formation. Do you throw to the tight end? But Glasgow's been very good on covering on play action passes, or do you do a quarterback sneak, or do you just stay what you're doing and run to the fullback?
Brady hustles to the line, fakes it to Aiden. They give it to Lane. He hops over the defenders, falling down to the line of scrimmage, and he's got another score.
Number 29 for his career is a very important one to put Franklin Simpson up 2 scores. Handed off to the second back. Being creative on offense are the Wildcats.
And sometimes we say that a player deserves to have the score. I think after the 58-yard sprint to get him down there, Lane deserved to punch that one in.
No doubt about it.
Now bring out Brody for the extra point. Snaps have been a little all over the place in the kicking game. Glasgow going to bring some heat. That one perfect as the kick is up, and it is Good. 2 minutes into the fourth quarter, Franklin Simpson gets the scoring started in the second half. 28-14, the Cats lead it over Glasgow. You're listening to Wildcat Football.
Special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
Lane Alford punches it in from 2 yards out to make it 28-14 Franklin Simpson. And here we get a kickoff downfield from McAllister that goes over Bradley's head. It's going to roll into the end zone for a touchback.
And I think Brody was just raring to just kick that football as far as he could after a bunch
He's like,
of
Coach,
squib
I
kicks.
get the squibs and all, but let me rear back and get one.
And the defender wasn't far back, and he was at the 20, looked like, and Brody was able to kick it behind him, and now Glasgow's got to go 80 yards, which they have not done this entire game.
They've had good field position. Time after time, the Cats have recovered a couple fumbles, had an interception, forced a turnover on downs, and now Glasgow takes over at their own 20. Gum, low snap again, noticeably. The running back Bull not out there. This time Gum's going to keep it and run down the left side. Got a big gain near the line of gain at the 30. We'll see what they make the spot. They're going to put it right at the 30, which should move the chains, and it does. And that just makes me wonder on that fourth down play why he didn't tuck it and run.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe he didn't think he could get it, but, I mean, he does have some wheels. He's able to run, and he's a very effective player back there at quarterback. I mean, he's not somebody you key on as the main guy, but, I mean, he can dish it out to some guys, and he can run when necessary.
Number 11, Ryder Heller in there now at running back without Bull. Low snap again. The quarterback's going to keep once more. Gets down the left side, staying up down the sideline, past the 40, 45, gets near midfield into Franklin Simpson territory at the 48-yard line.
Yeah, and that's two good runs, and this is a very effective drive so far with only 2 plays for Glasgow. You got to make some adjustments and key in on that quarterback. Without Bull in there for Glasgow, they're just running with their main guy in Gum, and wonder if they do it again. I mean, I would, because it's been effective.
Had run it 36 times for only 58 yards this year, but obviously that factors in sacks that take place. That one went for 22 yards, fakes a screen pass, fakes it left, now runs to his right as the quarterback Gum tries to juke again. This time he's chopped down for no gain. Brady Delt came out of the secondary, and a flag flies in as well from behind the line of scrimmage.
And you're going to assume that it's a holding penalty. We'll wait the call.
Score update from that Hart County game that we mentioned. Hart up 34-15 over Adair, as that penalty is on Glasgow. We'll see if the Wildcats accept or decline.
I think it's a 15-yard penalty, so I'd say
they're going to take it.
Yeah.
And to go back to Hart and Adair very quickly, I mean, obviously we're talking about that because of what's on the line in the district, but we haven't known because of the schedule, because of how much Hart lost from last year. Those key players offensively, that explosive run offense, lost their key guys. We didn't really know what that team was going to be, and they are making a statement tonight if Lane Grant is playing for Adair County, which we also don't know.
Yeah, we don't know, but, yeah, Hart County is
only had 4 carries in that Glasgow game. Now the Scotties are backed up with a 1st and 25 at their own 37-yard line. 8:23 left in this ball game. Trips left, 1 wide receiver right. Clean snap. They set up a screen play. It's caught. It's going to go for no gain. The Wildcats wrap up Bradley and drop him immediately. They saw that play earlier. It worked with Martin that time for Bradley, able to get forward progress for a yard.
Yeah, the screen plays, you got to get that ball out there quick, and with these botched snaps by Glasgow on every single play, it messes up the timing of screenplays. Screenplays, the main thing with the screenplay and how they're effective is timing. Getting the ball out there quick at the right time, and Glasgow's not able to do it.
5 different players have caught a pass, so they've been able to spread it out, but not as explosive as here. Another low snap. Gum able to field it, being chased down. 2 Wildcats in the backfield. Himshoot trying to get him. Can't chase him down, but forces him out of bounds into the Franklin Simpson bench at the 42-yard line. Only picks up 4. It's going to be 3rd and 20.
Very good job by Kaysen to fight through a double team on the outside. Glasgow did a pretty effective job of setting the edge and on a rollout pass, but Kaysen's still able to apply a little pressure to where Gum didn't have all day to throw or run or whatever. He had to make some decisions.
And it just shows you, we talked about coming into the night how Glasgow, you figure, had to change so much with their offense knowing they wouldn't have Easton Jesse at quarterback. You build it around Bull, the running back, now mid-game with him out. Completely changes what you're trying to do, and it's totally shifted to a run-first attack with the quarterback, Gum. He's got 36 yards on 3 carries this drive, but before they can get a snap off, a delay of game comes in, and it's now going to be 3rd and 25. They gained 5 yards the last 2 plays after the 15-yard penalty, and now they give those back. And with a 2-touchdown lead for Franklin Simpson at 7 minutes and 27 seconds left, that front is going to be able to pin their ears back. And they bring in Big Zeke to clog the middle a little bit more.
Yeah, and this is going to be almost a guaranteed pass. I don't think Gum's going to run it. Even if you get 15 yards on a run, you're still at 4th and 10. So he's got to heave something up.
Gets a good snap that time. They fake the screen to Bradley. The Cats are in the backfield. They wrap him up, and they sack him.
That was a big play. That was necessary because I'm looking down in the defensive backfield, and Martin, the 6'5 receiver, was going to have a one-on-one catch if he was able to get it off. But the defensive line for Franklin Simpson was able to answer the call and get a sack.
Jackson Crafton, it's good to have him back. Gets into the backfield, makes the play, and with under 7 minutes left on a 4th and 30, Glasgow is going to send out their punting unit. First time we get to see this tonight.
Yeah. And they got guys that don't know that they're out there.
Well,
with
and the most
injuries
interesting thing about it is the long snapper is the quarterback, Gum.
Yeah, he's listed on here as the.
It's a good snap. High punt that's probably going to take its first bounce in Glasgow territory. It does, and has some backspin on it. Now propels forward, but Franklin Simpson's going to take over at their own 47.
Yeah, that's that. That had so much air on it, so high in the air. It doesn't go for much distance, and the Wildcats are in business to try to milk this clock with 6:23 left to go, up 28-14. They can just have an old-fashioned brawl it out. Let's milk this clock drive.
6:23, like you said, ball on the right hash. Franklin coming off their first touchdown of the half, the 2-yard score by Lane Alford, set up by his 58-yard run to open the quarter after what was a very quiet third quarter for both teams. Delk sets up under center. Alford to the left side of the fullback, Jones. They fake it to him. Brady dropped it on the fake, falls back on it, fortunately at the 45, and what could have been a turnover is only a loss of 2.
What the quarterbacks are told to do is turn their shoulders on the fake and not reach that ball out there, and that's what Brady did. He's got to keep that thing close to him, get a good fake with your shoulders, but make sure that ball is held on to. In the NFL, a lot of times you see the guy, they're a little bit more seasoned and trained. They stick the ball out there. High school football, you got to keep it close, fake it with your shoulders, and then tuck that thing away.
2nd and 12. Fortunately, Franklin still with possession. Jones in there at fullback, this time flicked by Anderson. They pitch it out to him on the left. Gets outside, but a hold comes in as the Cats were trying to get out on the edge. Believe they're going to get Caden for that one. Was trying to pull and grab the defender from behind. And Franklin going backwards on this drive.
There's the second penalty, so there's a chance they could offset unless they're both holds.
Colin calling for a face mask, and that's what it is. And so it's going to be a repeat of 2nd and 12. It should have been a walk back of 10, but Franklin bailed out there by the face mask from Glasgow.
Yeah, very fortunate to have that face mask and to have that offset, and now Franklin Simpson's in a better position at 2nd and 12 instead of 2nd and 22.
And with all this, they've been able to milk a minute off that clock.
Yeah, even
now
on
5.5 minutes left.
Even on a penalty, the clock keeps ticking.
Jones at fullback again. They fake it. Go Anderson. Right side tries to cut up field, but he's wrapped up and dropped for another loss in the backfield. They go back 2 more yards, so it'll be 3rd and 14.
Yeah, losing yards right there is very killer, because now at 3rd and 14, you're in a position where you pretty much almost have to pass. You could try to do some type of tricky run. We've seen that.
Or
double
even just
handoff.
run to keep that clock going, and knowing that you don't know for sure that Bull's not going to be in there, but if you just cut your losses, run, milk some more clock, and punt it, not the worst idea with a 2-score lead.
Yeah, I like that idea, because you like the way your defense is playing this second half, and if you just keep the clock running and punt it, then you got a good opportunity.
They've got 2 wide receivers out there on the right side. Delk is going to hand it off to Alford running left, tries to split through the hole, but 2 defenders surround him and drop him, picked up 2 to the 45-yard line. And now Glasgow will take a timeout before the 4th down play, where the Cats will indeed punt it away.
Yeah, so not very effective there, not able to do what you need, but Glasgow has to burn a timeout, so that helps out.
Oh, and they take the safe play. I think that's the right call, as much as I would love trying to sling it downfield, move the chains, keep things going. The way that your defense is played, especially coming off that last drive, granted you were aided by penalties from Glasgow, but you've been able to see now in obvious passing situations, your line and linebackers have been able to generate some pressure with a 2-score lead, 4:24 left in this ball game. You know Glasgow's going to bring everybody to try and block this thing, and they've got the...
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go, Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street.
Glasgow's got 6 guys, make it 7 up there on the line. Clean snap. McAllister has it blocked. Kicked it right into the body of the defender. Now gets back as flags come in during the recovery. They're going to get Brody for pushing the player from behind, trying to keep him away from the football. Ultimately, it's recovered inside the 10-yard line of Franklin Simpson. And Glasgow is what we talked about. The other side of that is you've got to execute the punt, because Glasgow's going to bring heat. They do. They block it, and it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate for Franklin Simpson, and they get a block in the back.
That was on Brody trying to push the defender to get that football.
Which Glasgow declines it, because then that would mean that you'd have to repunt or something like that. So Glasgow wants the football. They want to take the play where it is, and they're in real good position to make this a football game again.
They take over at the Franklin Simpson 7-yard line with 1st and goal, 4:14 left. All of a sudden, a brand new ball game with brand new life for the Glasgow Scotties.
This is the second play, the second drive they've had that starts at the 7. So.
Last time they started at the 7, they punched it in with a 7-yard touchdown from Bull. That not on the table here. Gum is under center. It's a strong formation with 3 backs lined up on the right side. They pitch it that way. Slipping through, getting into the end zone and scoring is Stone. What an asset he has been in the absence of Bull going back to last week. Already had himself a score in this ball game with the 28-yard receiving touchdown. That time runs it in from 7. It's deja vu from how Glasgow started this ball game, and the Scotties have made it a 1-score game with 4:08 left.
Yeah, that was a very big play. And Stone, he's a do-it-all type player on the football field, plays safety, running the football, and is an incredible athlete.
On to kick the extra point is Malagom, but before he can, a flag comes in. And I believe it's going to be a delay of game. There's some contact after the play. Aiden had gotten into it with a Scotty. I don't know that the officials saw it. They just come in to separate them. They actually call a false start here, and moving that back 5 yards with as high as Malagon kicks that ball into the air could really matter.
Yeah, and I think the guy on the side, one of the Franklin Simpson defenders just kind of moved a little bit to see if he can get a false start from Glasgow, and he did, and this makes it a longer field goal. It's not anything huge, but it does make a difference.
And Franklin's going to bring the house with 10 players up on the line. They've blocked one this year. This kick huge. Snap is good. Hold is as well. Kick is up. It's high. It's arching, and it falls through. 28-21 is the Franklin Simpson lead with 4:08 left in the ball game. They're going to need to put in the keys and go for a drive. Can they do it? We'll find out together after this on 92.3.
Telly, I'm the youth leader and worship leader at Franklin First United Methodist Church. It's homecoming here at Franklin Simpson. We are so glad that you are joining us tonight. I just want to take a moment to invite you to Franklin First United Methodist Church. On Sundays, we have worship at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And on Wednesday nights, we have church starting at 5:30 with dinner. And we have our small groups and Bible studies starting at 6 p.m. We also have our Fall Fest coming up October 27th. See you there. Go Cats!
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
Stone, his second touchdown of the night, all of a sudden gives the Scotties new life in front of a rabid Franklin Simpson crowd. We'll see what Glasgow does here. The Cats are pressed up, anticipating a short kick. And they squib it down the far side, and it's going to roll out of bounds.
Oh, man, and that's going to go to the 35. I highly doubt Franklin Simpson lets him kick that football again because they're going to try to get the onside. So.
I don't know that you gamble it.
No, absolutely
We
not.
saw Glasgow do that earlier when Franklin Simpson kicked it out of bounds, and they opted to make them kick it again, then had a massive return. Yeah. But in this case, you play it safe, and you take over with 4 minutes and 8 seconds standing between you and your second district win of the year, which – with what's happening in that Hart County, Adair County game becomes more and more important with the opportunity, like you said, to potentially force a tie between 3 teams at the top of this district. Glasgow just fighting to pick up their first win and avoid falling almost by default, pending catastrophe from Adair County, to that 4 spot in the district. Cats take over at their own 35. Delk fakes the handoff to Jones. Here comes Alford up the middle, surges past the 40-yard line, and that's back to what Franklin Simpson had done so well for most of this game, those big positive plays on first down. That one gets 6 to make it 2nd and 4.
And then Coach Cheney's looking at the clock, and the offensive player, Brady's going to look at the clock, and you're going to have to snap this around 3:20 left, and every play you're going to try to take 40 seconds off, as much time as you can off the clock.
Brady checks with his coaches, now settles back in under center. He's watching to wait for that count. The officials are having to keep it, so he looks at the back judge to see that hand go up, telling him how much time he's got left. Alford gets it running left. He's wrapped up around the shoulders, but I think it was clean. Gets up. As the official walks in from the 35, they're going to spot it back at the 34, and it sets up a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's going to be about 2:30 when this ball is snapped, so the coaches are keeping their eye on that, milking as much 3rd and 1. If you get a first down right here, Glasgow's going to have to start burning those timeouts, and you get just 2 or 3 first downs, and then this game can be over.
The Cats have opted to go more often than not with the quarterback sneak. All 11 in the box for Glasgow on 3rd and 1. They're not going to sneak it. They give it to Jones, slips past a tackler. He's got the first down before being knocked down by 4 Scotties, but he moves the chains to the 47-yard line. Needed 1. Aiden gets you 3.
And what's more important than anything, he holds on to that football for dear life. And I'm sure the coaches are going to remind him again, you got to hold on to that football. You don't have to score. I was telling some guys the other night and coaching them, I said, you don't have to score right here, but you do have to hold on to the football.
Get another first down, and it's curtains. Delk stands under center, fakes it, gives it off to Alford, barreling through defenders past midfield.
Glasgow burns a quick timeout, rightfully so. They're going to try to get a stop right here, and if they can get another stop, it'll be around 1:45 with them getting the football. What Franklin Simpson is going to try to do is get one more first down, and then they can effectively end the game almost.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last Friday night?
Well, Doc, I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
Hey, Mr. Smith, what was that call about last?
8-yarder to set up the touchdown. The rest have really just been chipping away. And here, that's exactly what you need. Hold on to the football and barrel into those defenders.
Absolutely. I mean, just finish this, ice us off. You got 2 great big backs back there. Let them work. Let them work. Let the big guys up front, the linemen, let them work. Let them push guys around.
To put it as eloquently as I know, let the big dogs eat.
There you go. Beautiful.
We'll see which one gets it here on 2nd and 5. They're both in the backfield. Cats rush to the line. They fake it to Jones, give it to Alford. He trips forward for a yard, and that will set up 3rd and 4 as Glasgow calls timeout with 1 minute, 53 seconds left.
And you're in 4-down territory if you're Franklin Simpson.
Especially after that last punt.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to get positive yards. Try to get 2 or 3 at least, and then you can go for it on 4th down and then take a couple.
Special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Betting's sleep guides help you find
directly on the line. They fake the handoff, slip it out to Anderson. He's got it for the first down and more. 40, 35, 30, down the sideline, cuts upfield, kiss it goodbye. Green turf turns blue. Touchdown, Wildcats!
Oh, my goodness. Nobody was expecting that play. I called it earlier, talked about it earlier. Maybe they'll throw out of this formation. The Franklin Simpson finally does. Oh, what a beautiful play by Brady, and to throw it out there and Colin to catch it. Oh, what a beautiful play.
Brady took a shot after the play, but hung in there, made the throw, put it on Collins' hands, and he does the rest, his 2nd receiving touchdown of the night, and that one is the cherry on top of the homecoming celebration.
Oh, beautiful. Man, just rolling the dice out there. Nobody expected that. What a great play call.
4th receiving touchdown of the year for Anderson, 2 tonight. Had the drop earlier and has made up for it in spades.
Yes.
Cats moved before the PAT, though, so they're going to move this back. With 1:40 left in the game, Glasgow's out of timeouts, but you still got to execute. Because as we know about this Glasgow offense, if there's one thing they can do, it's strike fast.
Yeah, they can, but without two time, I mean, it's almost unlikely, but they do have a chance, but you got to play.
You don't want to help them do it. Clean snap, clean hold, kick from an extra 5 yards out is up, and it's good. Anderson, the 47-yard touchdown catch and run from Brady Delk, who stood in the pocket, delivered the throw. He has been hit time after time. Every boots it downfield, takes a hop. It's fielded at the 15-yard line. Not a clean execution, but it's a pretty big return across the 35-yard line for Keyshawn Austin, who's got one catch. When he's been in there on offense, it was a 52-yard touchdown against Allen County Scottsville. Returns that one up to the 38-yard line, where Glasgow will take over, trailing at 35-21 as Franklin Simpson looks to move to 3-2 against the Scotties under Coach Max Chaney after winning 27-14 in a game that I think stunned a good amount of people up at Glasgow last year, the way that the Wildcats pretty much manhandled the Scotties at their place. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers on the left. In the slot is the star Mark. They're looking to throw across the middle. Diving effort. Is it caught? No. Signal is incomplete. And it'll be 2nd and 10. It was a good effort from Bradley, but couldn't hold on.
Yeah, he didn't even have a chance on it. The ball just hit the ground, hit him in the chest, hit the ground, and there is a flag. I didn't see the penalty.
They're going to walk it back from what was the 38-yard line as Franklin accepts the penalty to the 28, so assume it's a hold. Yeah. And now Glasgow faces a 2nd and 20 with 1:26 left.
So yeah, you can think about, oh, do we want the downs, or do we want it to be 2nd and 10? But I think in this situation, you want to move them back just as many times as you can.
This time they put the 3 wide receivers on the right side with big 6'5" Martin in between those 3. Snap goes behind the quarterback, Gum having to chase it down, and he picked it up while he was on a knee.
They got a new quarterback.
They do have a new quarterback in there. That's Trace England that's back there. The snap again was the same case we've seen, just on the ground all the way. And there's a Wildcat down at the 15-yard line.
Saden Jones, I think this is a cramp too, where he's grabbing.
And the way that he's holding, it looks like it. The ball is back at the 18-yard line, so it'll be a 2nd and 30 yards. Actually, much further than that. Depending on where they officially spot this ball, it's tough to see because of where Aiden is down at. The ball's going to be inside the 15-yard line, and they've got to get to the 48.
Looks like it's going to be at the 13, so.
You can do that math for me, can't you?
Is that 35?
You're so good.
Yeah, 48 minus the 13. There you go.
Adam Dobbs tried to come in there. I know he doesn't teach math.
I used to teach math back in a former life.
If it was up to him, he would teach music history, but it only applies to the 90s. So it is the 13-yard line. That's the spot for a 2nd and 35. As they do bring in the new quarterback in England.
I kind of wonder what they're doing here. Gums, I mean, he's giving them chances, but I mean, these snaps, I think it may be a new center too.
1 minute left and ticking. This a clean snap, fielded well, thrown across the middle. It's caught. Running down the sideline and getting out of bounds is Martin on the quick crosser. And mark it right at the 25-yard line, so he does pick up 12.
Yeah, this whole second half for Glasgow, every shotgun snap has just been on the ground, and Glasgow just now changes the center to somebody that could shotgun snap it a little bit better. And I mean, it just kind of seems like they're unraveling at this point with new guys coming in on a final drive with 52 seconds. I don't know if they're just trying to keep guys healthy or what they're trying to do.
3rd and 23. Glasgow at their own 25-yard lines, 52 seconds frozen on the clock. Snap taken by England, drops back, plenty of time, heaves it across the middle. It's caught by Martin, had room at the 45-yard line. He's wrapped up there. The Cats were kind of just huddled around him, waiting for him to get that football. He picks up 21 to make it 4th and 3.
Yeah, and that's a good decision if you're a new quarterback, just throw it up to Martin. But the killer is that was caught over the middle. Glasgow's trying to get in a hurry up, but they're going to waste about 20 seconds just getting this play off.
25 seconds left and ticking. 4th down could be the final play of the game. England looking to throw, going down the far side. Leaping interception attempt. Two Cats collided, couldn't bring it down, but it falls incomplete. And that is your ball game.
Oh, found a way to win. That's the key, and that's what we talked about last week. That's what we talked about at Russellville. Got several new guys, got very few seniors on this Wildcat team, but they're gritty. They're becoming a very fun team to watch, and just how they find a way to win the game.
When you look at the opponent, when you look at the story of this game, the ebb and flow, the back and forth, easily the most impressive win of this season for this Franklin Simpson team.
Yes. Yeah, and just adjusting the whole way.
Victory formation doesn't get any better than doing it on a homecoming Friday night. Franklin Simpson takes it 35-21 over Glasgow to pick up a huge second win in district play. They're now 5-2 overall on the season, 2-1 in this district. Glasgow have now lost 4 in a row. They're 3-4 on the year, 0-2 in 3A.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
What makes us special is that we look for the story when it comes to our customers.
Just listening to them, talking to them, figuring out a little bit about their background. A larger bank is not going to ask you those questions to figure out the end goal for you.
We stuck with Franklin Bank and Trust for over 10 years, easily because of the service.
I like to think of us more than just checking accounts and loans and things, but dreams and goals and aspirations is what we're trying to help people reach.
Franklin Bank and Trust, hometown banking at its best.
I thought he crossed the line.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the stands thought you were the one that crossed the line with that call.
I guess I get that all the time, Doc.
Well, I'm glad you finally came in here to get your eyes checked at Wilkins Eye Care.
And like I said, I hear that all the time.
Go, Cats!
Wilkins Eye Care, 705 North Main Street, Franklin, Kentucky.
For more than 50 years, McCutcheon Electric has serviced Franklin and the surrounding communities. Wildcat senior Colin Anderson is the grandson of founder Charlie McCutcheon. Just like Colin provides power during the game, you can rely on McCutcheon Electric to light up your life. For all your commercial or residential electrical needs, contact McCutcheon Electric.
What's the matter, Big Red? You're not your usual energetic self.
Are you getting a good night's sleep?
I know just the thing to help. Tossing and turning, a bad night's sleep can take you out of your game. It could be your pillow or mattress. Let Trent Bedding's sleep guides help you find the right sleep essentials for a good night's rest so you are at your best.
Remember, if I won't have it in my house, I won't deliver it to yours.
Making their way off at Franklin Simpson, per usual. Meeting with the parents, the families, some extra ones here tonight. We had talked to someone down at the alumni tent before the game that said they had flown in just for the game and they were flying out right after the game.
Yeah.
And in my mind I was thinking, well, I hope we make this trip worth it for you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be worth it just with the parade and everything else going on. But to cap it off, a 35-21 Franklin Simpson win over Glasgow tonight to move to 5-2 on the season. Tyler Eaton joined by Tyler Arterburn. Tyler, before we dive into the numbers, as I see Coach Cheney making his way up, I see who he has finally grabbed to come up here with him as our player of the game. I was able to tally it up quickly because I wanted to have it just in case Lane was coming up here. Spoiler. 161 yards on 19 carries. 105 yards on 12 carries in the second half of this game to go along with 2 touchdowns. He's now at 29 total for his career. What a game for Lane Offord.
I mean,
and forced the fumble inside the red zone as well. Not to mention everything he does on defense.
I mean, we talk about how there's only just a handful of seniors, but the load that they carry is immense, and they don't seem like they mind carrying this load. But my goodness, they're just such great leaders to get these young guys rallied. And a lot of guys, you got just a couple of seniors, you just write this year off and just play and have fun. No, they want to win.
Yeah.
They want to win. And they know how, if you got to win, you got to do extra. And it's hard work being a senior and getting young guys motivated and rallied and all that. And it's much more harder when you just have a few. Man, they're working hard. I'm proud of the senior class.
And one thing that I've always said is that the first thing to do when it comes to winning is you got to learn how to win. And this team is learning how to do it. They get the job done tonight. As I think Coach is going to make Lane go first. After he has been the one to make us wait 7 games to have Lane come up here as our player of the game. And I think tonight a fitting one. Lane, you in this game run it 19 times. I'm sure you're a little tired, although I'm sure if it was up to you, you would have run it 30 times in this game. You have 100 yards in the second half alone of this ball game. How is it that you have conditioned yourself to where it seems like run after run, you are just running harder and harder as the game goes on?
Yeah, it's a little hard in the beginning of the season, but you kind of get used to it, conditioning and practice. But it makes it a lot easier when the big boys up front are taking care of their job.
I mentioned this when this play happened, but that play down on the goal line for them, 4th and goal, where you come in and you force the fumble. To me, it looked like a Troy Polamalu type play where it was jumped and the play was dead before it started. Walk us through what you saw there and how you were able to time it up so well to where it seemed like the moment the quarterback went to hand off the ball, your helmet was on it and you were knocking that thing out.
Yeah, we seen on film, or I seen on film, that they always run to the back in the power offset. So they always run away from the tight end. They never run to him. So I know if I got in that A gap and just went, that I can make a play. It's 4th and 1, how to make a big play.
And I know for you, like I said, if it were up to you, you'd run it 30 times a game. But I know it's also fun to see Aiden and you guys form this big, what we've called Thunder and Thunder combo in the backfield. The last 3 games, that's really blossomed into something special. How proud have you been of seeing Aiden really step up into this bigger role now with Blake out?
Yeah, it's wonderful to see him step up. You know, he's a really young player. A lot of people don't realize we got a lot of sophomores out there playing. He's a sophomore who's stepping up in a big way, just week in and week out, just making plays like he should.
Now, I know you'll take the ball however you get it, but I've got to ask, especially since Blake's been out, we've seen you get some of those outside runs. Yeah. Do you prefer getting it between the tackles and just smashing into guys, or do you like those chances you get on the outside?
They really don't matter to me. Just
Coach Chaney, I don't know if they could hear it on the radio. His exclamation was he just wants the ball.
Yeah. It's just however I can get it, I'll go with it.
Well, in every situation that you got it tonight, you get the job done. Homecoming, so much going on. It's pushed back a week, everything out of whack. As one of the senior leaders of this team, how happy are you with your guys'? No mental lapses in this game tonight. It felt like everything was dialed in despite everything going on in what was such an important game.
Yeah, we put a big emphasis on it this week that we have to be locked in all throughout the day, especially with Powder Puff Wednesday and a big game on Friday. You can't do nothing stupid. You got to stay locked in, going to pep rallies and stuff. Can't just use all your energy on those. You got to be ready to play on the Friday night because there's no homecoming without the football game.
Bye week coming up. It's a weird question. I'm going to ask it even though I don't think it's a great question when I hear it asked, because you always hear, is the bye week coming at a good time for you guys? Do you think this bye week is coming at a good time for this team considering where you're at right now with the win streak you've been able to put together?
Well, I think it's good to get a break, especially going into it with a W, not hanging on an L for a whole week, just thinking about what you could have done better. Obviously, we're going to be thinking about what we can do better, but, going into it with a W instead of an L makes it a whole lot easier.
Well, Lane, I'm glad we could finally get you up here. Make sure before you leave that Tyler gets the picture with the plaque. You'll be social media famous. Everybody will say thank goodness. I know Coach Chaney's upset because he hasn't gotten his plaque yet, but as he's over there boiling, I'll let you hand over the headset to him.
Yes, sir.
Good game tonight, Lane.
Thank you.
Coach Chaney's going to join us. He is
when you get that picture, you be sure to copy Rhonda Alford on that because she scares me a little. We'll make sure. Look at him laughing.
Was she the one chirping to you that said he should be part of the game?
No, she's never said it.
I mean, I was giving you the chance to say it if she was.
No.
There was so much going on last week that we didn't get to talk about the fact that you guys had finally gotten a shutout. And I know that's something that you had been hunting for a while. Yeah. And I use that to segue into the performance of your defense tonight, where it wasn't perfect, but there were a lot of key situations where big plays were made, where Glasgow was driving, whether it be a fumble, the interception down in the end zone by Kaysen. When your team needed a big play, it felt like the defense had it in them to make that play.
They did great, and I think Coach Profit and Coach Roby and defensive staff did a great job of getting those guys in position and kind of knowing what they were going to be in and how they wanted to run it. And we had good defense set in. Obviously, you said there was no mistakes. There's always some mistakes that we can.
I'm gonna make it sound
but,
nice.
Offensively put them in a horrible position down here, and then we fumbled down here close to the goal line.
Two times we did give it to them at the 7-yard line, and they scored at
that's
one
horrible. Yeah, so that's bad. That's bad on the offense and bad on the punt team. But overall they played hard. They played really well. I mean, Lane is Lane's a dog. All right, let's just be honest about it. He went down on one of these runs and said his ankle was hurt. I said, hurt worse than normal? He said, no. I said, get up, let's go. So I mean, he deals with things all the time, but he's an absolute stud for us, and proud of the running backs running some hard yards tonight. Aiden did a great job. Colin did a great job. What about Marsh on the 4th and 2 call with the pass over there to Colin? They were packing the middle on us. We knew we couldn't get anything up the middle. So it was a great job. I think, offensively and defensively, there's some things that we didn't take advantage of offensively. We had some missed blocks in the first half. We talked a lot about that at halftime, and came out and got better on it.
Walk me through that play with Colin, because it's a dicey one. If it doesn't work out, what it does, incomplete, stop the clock, everything flips. Was that one where you and Marsh came together and was like, all right, no, we're fully in on this one, or was there some discussion? What was the process?
I think the whole coach staff's like, well, we're going. They're all in the middle. What do we have?
They literally had all 11 up there on the line.
Yeah, what do we have out of that package? And we've got that. We don't use it very often, but hadn't been real good on the pass tonight, and a lot of pressure on Brady for some reason or another, coming from the defensive line or linebacker spot. So just knew they'd have all that. If we get it blocked, we actually sent kind of told Lane to do something different than what he normally does, just so we get it blocked, and just enough to get it off. And that's all we needed, and Colin took care of the rest.
I'd said during the game, I'm glad you called Lane a dog because, I mean, we know what it is. I said between him and Aiden, you just got to let the big dogs eat. But Colin, it felt like tonight in those opportunities, and it's not like he's had bad games. I know last week was frustrating with the weather and the fumbles, but it felt like he had a little extra burst every time he touched the football tonight.
Oh, yeah, he's got that. He's got that gear.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got it, and that's why we want to get him the ball and let him run out in open space. And, we'll continue to develop that and work with it as we go. But, I mean, he's definitely, he's the fastest kid we got. So he's definitely got that gear, and he did a great job tonight. A touchdown pass in here and then touchdown pass.
Fantastic catch.
Fantastic catch. I mean, and we had him wide open on a play in the first half. I mean, he was running wide open, but we couldn't get it off. So that's kind of where we were on some things. But, yeah, he does a good job for us. He did a great job blocking. I mean, not every time you see kind of a heavy package with a guy of Colin's size. So, I mean, he owns it, and he, takes it. And that's what I was trying to tell the guys out there when we were kind of driving down the field where we had to get to the 4th and 2 call. You got to love it. I mean, as an offensive lineman, a fullback, I mean, you got to freaking love this type of football to close out a game. Now, you don't want to live in that, but to close out a game, eat clock, get us down there, we're going to win. So, I mean, it was beautiful to watch.
And I want you to know Tyler gave him credit for the blocking.
Good.
If any of the two of us is going to notice blocking, it's him. So he gave him his flowers.
Well, we've got a guard that probably weighs 170 something pounds, but he hits hard. He's explosive, and I mean, I don't know if you saw Glasgow's D line; they weren't very small.
No.
And 78 landed on us a couple times. He's a big boy, but they did a great job. Proud of the kids for, winning at halftime. Really talked about, we've shot ourselves in the foot. It's nothing that they have really done. Right now, we've shot ourselves in the foot. And so we kind of corrected some of those things and had a good second half. I was proud of it.
I'd asked Lane this, and I got a decent feeling of what your answer is going to be with health situations, but you always hear about a bye week being a good time, bad time, what that looks like. I know with so many two-way guys trying to get Blake back to 100%, I can't imagine it's a bad time for this bye week, but what does it look like for you guys over the next couple of weeks?
Well, I mean, we're off this week. I mean, there's no sense.
I heard Blake's going to the beach, and I'm hoping that ocean water, works some miracles.
Well, I won't. Yeah, Blake's gonna go walk on the sand a little bit. And, I got some coaches going places. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going home. But they deserve a little break. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a little break. Get a little refresh, restart, come back hungry and ready to get after it. I think it's a good time for a break. Definitely coming off of a couple of wins, so that's a good deal. And we'll come back with Greenwood. So, I mean, I think it's a good time for a break. I think that we can come back and be healthy. Lane's got nicks and bumps and bruises, but he's just not going to ever let you know about it. And then we've got Aiden's got some, he's got some pain that he could definitely take a week with and get through. And Aiden's he's a little spark plug, but I mean he's like a little bowling ball. But he's playing one technique, but he gives it all he's got. I mean, he's going against that monster tonight. It was huge, tall, and big boys. So. And Glasgow's, they're always coached well. They got, they're young like we are. They have 6 seniors, I think, and we have 4 that play on a Friday night. So, it's kind of 2 young teams going against each other.
It's a good win tonight. I know it's hard always to block out the distractions on a homecoming, but to get a district win going into the bye feels good. Yeah. I'll let you go and get that break started. I know where you're headed.
Oh, I'm going to go in there to the locker room. He's going to download that film, and I'm going to start grading. I don't usually do much sleeping on. Hey, shout out to Mr. Mooney. I know he usually listens. And Johnny Vance texted me today. He's probably not listening. He's in Owensboro, but even though he was a Glasgow Scotty, he said, beat those Scotties. And I said, all right, we'll try to get it done, Coach.
Well, got the job done for him.
Yeah, good deal.
All right, Coach. We'll see you. Thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
That's Coach Chaney joining us on our post-game show. We'll take one more break. When we come back, we get to the final numbers. Put a bow on it. 35-21, Franklin Simpson wins it over Glasgow on homecoming. You're listening to Franklin Simpson Football on 92.3 WFKN.